Hello everyone, we are here today with one of the most prestigious Holdens in private hands. This is the 1997 Primus 1000 Classic winner. This is chassis PE030RB. Hey everyone, it's Mitchell from Collecting Cars. I'm down here today with the famous Jack Perkins and a very, very special car in automotive racing history, the chassis PE030RB. Jack, thank you for coming down today to have a chat. We'd love to obviously find out a little bit more about this car and your knowledge behind it.
Yeah, it's a really cool car. I mean, to be honest, Perkins Engineering built 3 Bathurst-winning cars, so that's a great accomplishment in itself. But this particular one was the last Bathurst winner that my dad got to drive and win the race with Russell Ingall. And it's a really cool car because it's the VS Commodore, which was sort of the last of that VP floor pan, and then in 1998 moved on to the VT Commodore. So this is a pretty cool looking car and kind of the last of that iteration. And you know, for Perkins Engineering to build their own cars, race them in-house, and to win the biggest crown jewel in Australian motorsport is really cool. So to be standing here in front of this particular one, the 97 Primus Bathurst 1000 winning car is really cool. And it's been, you know, restored nearly 20 years ago now, but it's back in, you know, original mint condition. Everything is as it was in 1997, and it's a testament to those who were involved in that restoration process. And also my business, Perkins Engineering, in more recent times has been involved with the mechanical side of it. So yeah, a really cool car, and it's awesome actually to be standing here with it today. The doors, the glass, everything's factory as it was on the road cars, except for the front bumper bar and the rear wing. They're sort of purpose-built race car parts.
Fantastic. Well, it's very interesting to see that your dad obviously took upon himself, unlike any other team, to put his own flair and engineering knowledge into the car, and obviously it paid off on the 1997 weekend with the win being crowned upon them both, and also very significant for this car in itself because it was your dad's last win at the Great Race, and now obviously we still have it presented here today in its fantastic condition.
Yeah, it's a cool car, and like you've touched on, you know, my dad was lucky enough to win 6 Bathurst, and this is his 6th and final Bathurst winning car. So really neat, and holds a precious place for my family and indeed in Holden and Perkins sporting history.
Let's take a look under the hood of chassis 030.
Yeah, it's always cool to have a look under the hood of these race cars because this is where it all happens, if you like. And this is the Perkins Engineering 18-degree Chev, but interestingly, when this car was restored at the start of the 2000s, it had just another Perkins Engineering Chev engine. And when I say another one, there was 198 race engines built over the 25 years of business. But we set about the task of finding the actual 97 race-winning engine. So our Perkins Engineering archives and build sheets were able to tell us that we needed to find engine 162, and we're happy to report that we found it in New Zealand, of all places, across the ditch. But we were able to then get it back over to Australia, rebuild it, and partner it back up with the car. So to have a matching number and car to suit the 97 Bathurst race win is obviously a feather in the cap for this car, and really cool. So that, you know, often these engines, you don't get to see a lot of them with the big air boxes and intakes, but these 18-degree engines with the Moroso rocker covers are very telltale to the Perkins cars, and they're very basic under the hood. There's not a lot more to see under here. You've got the strut towers at the front, which were braced up by the roll cage. This is a giveaway for power steering, which was starting to come into fashion in this sort of period through supercars. And then the identification tag for Perkins Engineering. We always emphasise low cost on building these cars, so it was nothing fancy, just a stamped up bit of aluminium, and it's got the original tag from 030 when that first chassis was originally built, and then as we know it was re-chassied and a little RB was tagged onto it at a later date.
Very cool. And these were not for the faint of heart, these engines. A 600 horsepower about they were back in the day?
Yeah, that's correct. So these 18-degree Chevs put out close to 600. In some cases, as they developed further in life, they got up to 620, 630. And they're a 5-litre engine, pushrod V8, and very reliable engine that Chev introduced just following the use of the Holden iron line, if you like. And this engine served purpose in supercars right up to 2002, and then it was replaced with another Chev variant. But nothing wrong with the power power under the hood of this one, I can promise you. Perkins pedals were kind of a known design in and around the supercars ranks. We actually still use the factory Holden throttle assembly, which mounts to the factory holes up on the front firewall. But on the pedal pad itself, these cars, obviously with the exhaust operating around 260 degrees, cabin temperatures about 25 above ambient, the pedals get very hot, especially when you're on the loud pedal for 6 hours at Bathurst. So Dad always put timber insulation on top of the pedals. Again, people think you need carbon fibre or flash bits, but quite often timber is the best insulation. So you put nice timber pad on there. The brake and throttle here, again, very simple design, nice grip tape on them for ease of moving around on the varying pedals as racing, and a footrest over on the trans tunnel on the left hand side.
Jack, thank you so much for coming down today and explaining to us not only how important this car was in 1997, but how still important it is today and for years to come, and the fact that it's still running.
Yeah, it's such a cool car. You know, I think I was the last driver to get the privilege of driving such a cool machine back in 2018 when I did a car swap with Dad. It's his last Bathurst-winning car. It's an iconic car with the Holden branding, the Castrol livery. Such a cool car. These cars don't come up for sale very often, so I'm really excited to see that it's now for sale on collectingcars.com, and I can't wait to see who might end up buying this car.
There you have it, the Bathurst 1000 winning car in 1997, driven by Russell Ingall and Larry Perkins. Chassis PE030RB is now being offered up for sale on Collecting Cars via sealed bids. Also included in the sale is the winning trophy accepted by Larry Perkins and Russell Ingall in Bathurst in 1997, and a Perkins engineering numbered book 030 specific for this car. If you have any further questions, please contact the team. We look forward to welcoming the new owner of this car. I'm Mitchell from Collecting Cars. We'll see you soon.